Hi guys, DFX here with you. Um, I got some. I'm getting ready for convention season this year. I like to go to the like Comic Cons and that kind of stuff. But I recently, earlier this week on Tuesday, I got an email from one of the longest running conventions that I go to every. I've gone every year. And they've been kind of shut down the last 2 years because of the pandemic and stuff. But I want to talk about Denver Starfest and slash StarCon because there was a time when they did two conventions like for a long time. Twice a year they did a convention. Yeah, this news kind of hits me kind of hard. I Most of the collection you see behind me, except some of the action figures aren't so much, but like over on this side, I got a lot of the autographs of people I've met at this particular convention. And yeah, it's kind of setting in right now. A lot of good memories at this place. I think I attended my first Starfest Denver back. Gosh, I was thinking about this the other day. I think it was back in 1986. I think it was the year that Star Trek 4 came out. I look back at that now, going, "Wow, so much has happened in the Star Trek universe since Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home." But then, I have very vague memories of the conventions at that time. I was still in elementary school. I mean, I liked Star Trek then, but I didn't think I would like it as much as I do now. That was a different time back then. I think the very, like, I go to Starfest occasionally. I don't know, on and off, and it was just something to do, something that was not in my little town that I was in. I would make the 3-hour trek down to Denver, and with my mom and my mom's friend and her son a couple times. But yeah, this convention coming up May 13th through the 15th is going to be the final convention for Starfest down in Denver. And I got a lot of I know, I was thinking about this the other day. I mean, I've really been I wanted to do this little video to just to show you and express to people out there, whoever's watching this, that I owe a lot to the fandom of Star Trek, Star Wars. I've kind of gone in a like more Star Wars, or I'm sorry, this is hard for me. My fandom's more Star Trek than Star Wars. I like them both equally, but if I was to choose, and will give me lots of trouble online here, but I like Star Trek more. I always will, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. You can argue about me about this whole. I mean, this is a debate that's been going on for years: Star Trek versus Star Wars. But I'm a Trekkie, but I just wanted to talk about this convention. Like I said, the final one's coming up, maybe 13th through the 15th. So not even probably, gosh, a month away, about a month and a half away. And it's going to kick off this final convention is going to kick off my convention season. I don't know if I'm going to actually show. I'm going to take a lot of pictures. I experimented with the video aspect of con going, and it's pretty cool. But if I do, I'm not gonna be live. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just do some B-roll footage and like put something up on my channel later. But anyway, back to this. So like I said, my first convention, Starfest convention, was around the year Star Trek: The Next Generation started. I mean, they did Star Trek 4, and then they went right into promotion, production, and I don't know if that's true or not, but from a fan's perspective, that's exactly, they went right into production of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which premiered in 1987, and then I just started fanning out, going to these conventions, and this one especially because it just gave me an aspect, a perspective that I wasn't the only fan out there. I mean, I saw old footage of old conventions and stuff, and I'm like, the whole Shatner get a life kind of thing from Saturday Night Live. I'm like, Star Trek kind of is my life. I don't know. I'm just speaking off the cuff here, so if I kind of ramble or wander off in certain areas of this, I'm gonna miss Starfest. Like I said, they had for a long time 2 conventions a year. This Denver, and the cool thing about this convention that I loved, it was family oriented, run by a family, and volunteers. Nowadays with the aspect of conventions, they've branched off. They have corporate sponsors, and it's cost an arm and a leg to even put something on like this. And I think that's part of the reason. But it's also, this is the 45th anniversary, like the 45th convention, or I think it might be maybe, I don't know, but I'm just talking off the cuff here. But I wanted to just share some of my memories from Starfest. It's been very memorable for me. 10 years ago, I met my wife there. That's been the biggest highlight from going to this convention. I've taken my friends, been going with my family, and just I'm gonna show you some highlights. I didn't really get into the autograph collecting and stuff that you've seen in my other videos until this convention. I mean, I didn't actually do the collecting. This collection behind you that you see, I've been collecting since 1986, 87. And it's exploded into 2 rooms that I own, or that are in my house. And yeah, it's been a fun journey. The very first convention that I went to, Starfest was the very first convention I went to, and the very first, I specifically remember 3 of my first autographs that I got at this convention, and I don't know if they were all at this convention at the same time. The 3 autographs I'm going to show you, but these were my first 3 autographs, like collecting anything. So this was back. Deep Space Nine had, I think, barely been on the air, but I collected all these Star Trek magazines from, they had the Next Generation one, the Deep Space Nine one. I think they did a Voyager one, but I'm not sure. I have them. I haven't looked at these in a while. But my very first autograph I got signed was by John Delancey. Plays Q on Star Trek The Next Generation. He was in 1 episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, hence why I'm showing you this. But yeah, I think this John's autograph was my very first autograph. Kind of didn't. Let's see if I can get to it. I had him sign the page because they used to do synopsises of each episode of Deep Space Nine in this magazine. And there's probably fans out there that even own this magazine still. But this one's extra special to me because, let me see if I can find the autograph page that he signed. Yep, here it is, and it was for his episode Q-less for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and this was probably one of my very first autographs. Now, I've got 2 others. Again, I don't know if all 3 of these people were at the same convention, but I have 2 other ones that I was going to share with you. I had a crush on this person. She was, Marina Sirtis, of course, was Counselor Troy from Next Generation. And she's special to me because you know, I got to meet her later on at one of these conventions. But her birthday, she shares the same birthday as me, but on March 29th. But my biggest crush from Deep Space Nine still is to this day, and I got her autograph. It's from actress Terry Farrell, who played Jadzia Dax, and so yeah, that was one of my. This was probably, like I said, I don't know these autographs in any order, but probably autograph 2 or 3 that I got when I first started going to the Starfest Convention. And finally, this is a big one, and probably one of the most, I don't know, memorable autographs. Like I said, the first times I went to Starfest were kind of a blur to me. Stuff's just kind of rushed by. Even when I was getting these autographs, I do remember standing or sitting in a hallway at the time it was a Holiday Inn Holiday Inn that was near Pena Boulevard that went out to Denver International Airport, but now it's a Crown Royale Plaza or something like that. But I remember sitting in a line for John DeLance's autograph, and at that time he came down the hallway like they thought that was the quickest way for him to get through everybody that was. I mean, the lines were so long, it just stretched through the whole hallway of the convention center. And I sat there, feel like maybe 3 or 4 hours just for him to sign that magazine, and that was the coolest. But let me get onto this final. That's just one of the memories. I got several more to share with you, but this one is also a big memory. It's the one time I met and got her autograph of Majel Bennett Roddenberry, and I knew her. You know, she was the ship's computer. She was #1 in the cage from the original series. But because I like Next Generation so much, she'll always be Loxana Troy, Deanna Troy's mother. And there's the autograph I got from her. So yeah, I can't really narrow down the dates of when I got these autographs, these 3 autographs. But I might do some more research and share that with you at a different time. So yeah, that was the beginning of kind of the collection you kind of see behind me, and I've got a lot of stuff. Most of my Star Trek stuff, autographs, pictures, were signed at Starfest. I got at Starfest, the Starfest Convention, and just want to highlight some of my stuff here. So, no particular order here. In like I think 2001, one of the co-executive producers and creators of Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager, Michael Piller, adapted the Stephen King movie The Dead Zone into a TV show for USA cable network. And one of my highlights from that whole moment was when they actually got Anthony Michael Hall, who stars as the main character in the movie or the show, to come and promote it. And I got this promotional picture from Starfest, and that was the promotional picture they were handing out to everybody. But I took that a different way. At the time, you know, malls were big. They had like movie posters in the mall and stuff. And I went out and found a Breakfast Club poster. This is probably like one of the biggest things I have in my collection. Let's see if I can get it in here. But like I said, it's the Breakfast Club poster, and I got it autographed by Anthony Michael Hall. And this was him autographing the picture as he was also promoting the TV show The Dead Zone. So that's a highlight. They didn't just do Star Trek stuff at this convention. They promoted whatever was big at the time. I got to meet him, and that was pretty dang cool. And I was remembered by him because I would meet him again later in my life at a different convention that they have down in the Denver area. So he remembered me. He actually kind of remembered coming. I mean, stars go everywhere. They actually remember things, and I was kind of shocked at when I met him. Was doing a weird science panel at another convention that's held in the Denver area, and I got him to autograph a Weird Science poster along with Kelly LeBrock and the Ian Mitchell Smith that were in the Breakfast Club with him, or were in Weird Science with him. But he kind of vaguely remembered that. I said, yeah, I met you when you're doing promotion for the Dead Zone. And it was cool because, you know, Michael Piller was also at Starfest promoting the Dead Zone. It was not just Anthony Michael Hall. And I feel, and the Dead Zone was, unfortunately, Michael Pillar's last big project before he passed away. But that's another. If I get choked up, just reminiscing here, it's what it is. Let me see. I've met the gambit. You know, I've met the gambit of people. I got to meet William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, George Takei, Michelle Nichols. I met her and William Shatner twice. Walter Koenig, who plays Chekhov. You know, Jonathan Frakes, Brett Spiner, LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Marina Sirtis, Denise Crosby, Dwight Schultz, Nana Visitor, Nicole DeBoer, Dominic Keating, Connor Trenier, guy plays Phlox from Enterprise, Susie Plaxton, who plays Kalar, Robert Beltran. I've met them all. It's funny. Rene de Bergenois, got to meet him in person. That was a cool moment because I was wearing a suit at the time. I went as cosplayed as a Men in Black, and the one thing I remember from him was that I'll get a picture here. The one thing I remember from him, here he is, good old Rene, was he said he liked my suit. I don't know. So I pretty much met the whole cast of Deep Space Nine. Pretty much met the whole cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Well, I'm getting close to meeting everybody from Star Trek Voyager, but I'll have to do that at a separate event. But yeah, Nada Bergenois, R.I.P. man. I always remember that because that was a lot of things I remember from these conventions. That this convention especially, you know, I was lucky to probably see Avery Brooks, Commander Sisko, Captain Sisko from Deep Space Nine, and Sirach Lofton, Jake Sisko. At probably, God, I don't think he didn't do too many conventions, Avery Brooks, and very motivational, very inspirational guy. I got to meet him. I've met all the captains except Patrick Stewart, but that's coming. I just, with what's been happening with Star Trek Picard lately, I'll probably get to see him. I think of here soon. But like I said, this convention's branched out, and they've done other things. You know, they've gotten other guests that aren't Star Trek related, just sci-fi related. Like they actually got Sean Astin. You know, he came to Starfest big during his big Lord of the Rings phase. You know, while that trilogy was big, hyped up and stuff. I'm not gonna diss the franchise any. That is not my kind of movie. I actually like the Hobbit trilogy a little better. But then again, there's gonna be arguments on that. Well, that's not. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. But I got to also meet, like I said, I got to meet Sean Astin. So instead of getting, some Lord of the Rings signed, I actually found a Goonies poster, theater poster. Probably another big part of my collection. But I got a few. Well, I got the Data, the kid that plays Data. I got him to sign it as well. But saw that met him at a different event. But right down there, Sean Astin's autograph. And like I said, this is another big part of my collection that I would never have even gone in that direction. I get to probably also get to re-meet him and 3 of the other Goonies coming up for another convention that's coming up later on this summer. But anyway, that was my picture of Sean Astin, and he looked so happy and thrilled to be there that he probably can't even stand it right now. But again, I never would have thought in a million years that I would be, my collection has grown. It's not just Star Trek stuff now, but like I said, I got, the Breakfast Club poster, the Goonies poster, both signed at Starfest by the main actors. Another fun thing, I was very fortunate to meet Zachary Quinto at the height of the Heroes show, and probably about a year before he became the new Spock in the Kelvin Spock for the Star Trek movies. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Like, it was so, he had just, I feel like, hadn't even auditioned it hasn't even auditioned very long before he already had pictures of him in the ears. I mean, there are candid photos of him already in the ears. But at the time, I just went with the whole, I just went with his Heroes Siler look, and that's what I got signed. And it was interesting because last year I got to re-meet him at this other convention in Denver, and I got him to sign the Star Trek Beyond poster. So that's cool, and I'll probably share that in a different video. But I really wanted to keep this focus on Starfest. But it's hard because a lot of these people I've seen several times, and trying to share with those. I'm just trying to share those memories. I'll tell you I got another story here. 1996. The big movie of that year was Independence Day, starring Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Brett Spiner, which got to see Brett Spiner in a different role than Data. So that was cool. But what was really cool, Starfest premiered footage from the producer of the film, Dean Devlin, and Brett Spiner, and Jeff Goldblum all came to Starfest, and we got to premiere the destruction sequence from Independence Day, from the moment the White House blew up to when the dog jumped into the tunnel, or the door of the tunnel they were in to escape the flames and stuff. We got to see that in its entirety, unedited, ready for theatrical release. That was a moment I'm never gonna forget. I didn't get Jeff Goldblum's autograph, but I did see him, and Dean Devlin has come back to Starfest a couple times, and I actually got him to autograph both Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence. not a bad movie, but you know, I got him to autograph both covers of that. So I got that piece of history. That's kind of cool. Yeah, got to see Jeff Goldblum. Never would have thought that. And I think that same year was the first time I met Kate Mulgrew. Well, I didn't get to meet her. One of my friends that when I lived down there, we went down to the convention together, and she asked Kate Mulgrew a question, and that was cool to me. I would probably have a hard time doing that, just in general, because sometimes questions get booed by people in the audience. So anyway, in recent year, let me see, got to meet, I got to meet another highlight. I've met so many people at Starfest. Got to meet Chase Masterson. She played Lita, the Dobble Girl from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Met her several times. Got to see her perform. She's an excellent singer. I remember I've been trying to find some music of hers. If anybody knows anything, hook me up. Hook a guy up. Gosh. So many memories. Just before the pandemic, they had started bringing in new people. They brought in a couple people from the Orville. It's like the Star Trek that could have been, Got to meet guy who played Bortus, and Dr. Finn. Got my pictures with both of them in my Orville outfit. I do have an Orville outfit, but yeah, Dr. Finn was also Cassidy Yates on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Played Sisko's wife towards the end of the series. But yeah, it's just been I know I'm gonna miss Starfest. God, what else has happened? Starfest used to be like in the spring summer time. It used to be the place to go, like for a lot of movie studios, movie companies actually tried to go to there to promote their movies. I feel like I got in on a little promotion for all movies. Get Smart. A movie that didn't do very well at the box office. I think that had The Rock in it, but it also had a couple of the other guys. I can't remember his name, but the Chinese guy off Heroes. He was there to promote the movie, and it's weird. I think that actually was the same year that Zachary Quinto was there, and he promoted. Like, they could have been both there to promote Heroes, but he was promoting, or Masa, I think his name's Massey something. I don't recall, but he was there promoting Get Smart because he was like the tech guy, I think, in that movie. But and like I said, they did promotion for Independence Day, and I'm gonna be dating myself here, but I vaguely remember this. John Travolta, Danny Zuko from Grease, he actually did promotion for Battlefield Earth. He was there for that. And all I can remember from that moment, or from that, is I feel like I was standing, it was a standing room only part. Like, you couldn't really get in the room. They had monitors everywhere, I feel like, because there were so many people there just to see him. And he was there to promote it. And unfortunately, the movie didn't do so well. And I don't think John Travolta's done another sci-fi thing since then. But little things like that you remember. Yeah, Starfest. So many things, so many times, so much just happened. And I've gone to a big chunk of them. Like I said, let's see. I'm just kind of looking at my pictures here. think the biggest, most memorable. Um, oh, I'm looking at Garrett Wang's picture. Wang Wang. I can't remember how he says it, but Harry Kim from Star Trek Voyager. That was really cool. There used to be this old Mexican restaurant, like cuisine restaurant across from the convention, or they've held it the last 10 years or so. And when I met Garrett, he, we were coming out of the restaurant, and him and his assistant were going in, and it was just like, he asked us how the food was, and we were like, yeah, it was really good. He's like, great, could use it. Like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was excited to try it out. So a little thing like that. That was just little things like that. Gosh, I'm just looking at this. I'm just trying to remember. I met Richard Hurd. Played Tom Paris's dad, Admiral Paris, from Voyager. And I look back at it now, going, damn, I got to meet him. And it's like, like I said about Renee, and I was lucky. I got to meet Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, got to meet Leonard Nimoy at Starfest. Just people you see on screen, and you see in real life how down to earth they really are. I was not fortunate to meet DeForest Kelley or Jimmy Doohan, but I did get to meet Leonard and Michelle and Walter and George and William Shatner. Got to also meet I got to meet the Klingons. I mean, I got to meet Robert O'Reilly and what's his name? GH, whatever. Goron and Martok. Got to meet them. I got to meet them in person. And they were in their Klingon garb. That was totally awesome. And as I look back on this, I'm like, God, I've met a lot of freaking people. Susie Paxton, that's another good one. She played Kalar. She's an interesting individual, but I got to meet her. The cool thing about her Q&A was that during that whole her Q&A, she's answering questions. She went from being actress, and they had the makeup prosthetic artist there, and she became Kalar, and then started talking the way Kalar would talk in an episode of Next Generation. It's little things like that. It just kind of makes me smile. That good old LeVar Burton, Mr. Reading Rainbow. Probably the most down to earth human being. I've met him a couple times actually. I met him to get a photo with him, his autograph, but then on a separate time I saw him he does Q&As just like everybody else, but he's always going to be remembered for Reading Rainbow as well. And the cool thing about that, and I can remember this, LeVar, the one episode of Reading Rainbow that I'll always remember is when he actually went on the set of Star Trek The Next Generation and showed everybody around Next Generation and stuff, the sets and stuff, and how they did do things production wise. And that's my favorite episode of Reading Rainbow. Probably the only one I really ever remember. But it was also cool because everybody sang the theme song to Reading Rainbow. Yeah, God, met a lot of people. You know, I was very fortunate. They actually had at one of the Starfest, they had the whole Ferengi family show up for one of the convention for this convention, and it was Herman Shimmerman, it was Quark, it was Rom, it was Nog. I met Aaron Eisenberg and Lita, and I think the other one was Mogi. Mogi. It's been so long since watched Deep Space Nine, but it was the mom of Quark, mom of Quark and Rom, and that, and she's passed too. Well, you know, I met Robert Beltran, Chicote. I can't talk. Getting choked up talking about this stuff. It's one I feel like he doesn't really do the conventions that often. I've gotten a lot of people that they don't do the conventions often. You know, I've met a lot of those kind of people, and Starfest was the one they came to. um, well, you know, but I'm very excited. The one coming up. I got one last thing to show you, story wise, a little telling. I think of more things. Maybe I'll come back and do another episode here. But right before the pandemic, I was very fortunate. I became an action figure. Well, a statue, if you want. I got 3D scanned. And one of the biggest things from this convention that I'll take away is this memory. I don't know why, but it's me. I don't know if you can really tell the likeness, but it's me. I'm wearing my Orville cosplay. And I wasn't gonna do this either. But Starfest has a way of just, you know, I've cosplayed, you know, but that was kind of the beginning. Well, not the beginning, me dressing up, cosplay wise, but another memory that I'll have from Starfest is that I became my own little action figure sculpture. Gosh, let me see. You know, I've been very fortunate to meet many celebrities, many stars, many people that have become friends and family, or become family in a sense that you see them once a year, and you know, a lot of people know who I am at Starfest, and that's cool now. I mean, because I've been going to this convention for a long time, they know who I am. They've started to recognize me. But it's just there's never going to be another convention like this. Home, like, just it had that home feel. That it's like I'll be happy to see these guys, all these people coming up here in the middle of May, for one last time. Of course, I'll continue to see some of them at other conventions in the area, but this one is gonna be big. And we lost a major person of this convention. His name is Kevin, and he was the MC for pretty much the entire time I gone to this convention. He kept everything running in the main events room for years and years, and he's one guy that he knew who I was. Didn't pretty much know me by name, but he knew who I was. He recognized my face. Yeah, and on another, I got something else I just thought of. I was fortunate. I actually was on Fox 31 News a couple times. in my cosplay, Star Trek cosplay, and I talked to, well, the guy on the scene was Dan DeRue at the time, and got to meet him. He asked me about my costume, had some remark to him about it. That was another highlight. I did get to be on TV, like to promote this convention, and I have so many memories of this. There's another time. Gosh, I may have to do another video, but and I may not. But this, yeah, I'll leave you with this. There was this. I think it was the first year I brought my friend, and his name's Dusty too. His name's Dusty, and I brought him to the convention with me, and we were just hanging out about just taking in the con, and I was just taking pictures. And this guy, he's gone to this convention is probably longer than I had, and he was in Klingon makeup, and he flipped us off, and I got a picture of that. And I don't know what this guy's name, who this guy is, but that was, I don't know, another highlight for this convention for me. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. If you're interested in going to the final Starfest ever, after 45 years, it takes place May 13th through the 15th at the Denver Hyatt Regency Hotel in Denver, Colorado. I already got my room, I already got my tickets, and my family and my friends will be there for one last journey. You can get more information at starfest.com, and I'll leave a link below in the description, and I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned. I might have some more stuff I would like to share and show. Definitely have lots of pictures coming up from the final convention coming up. Like I said, I'll have links also below. And until next time, live long and prosper.